So, picture this. The room is dark, the air is cold. A massive creature steps out from the shadows. It has scales as hard as steel, wings that block out the moon, and smoke pouring from its nostrils. It is a dragon, a beast of legend. The heart beats faster, sure. It is a threat. It is dangerous, but it makes sense. It is a predator. It fits into a box in the brain labeled monster. Now, change the scene. The dragon is gone. In its place, standing under a flickering street lamp, is a person, just a regular person. But wait, the movement is wrong. The arm swings a little too loosely. The jaw hangs a bit too low. The eyes are open, but nobody is home. Suddenly, the skin crawls. The stomach turns. The brain is not just shouting danger, it is screaming wrong. This is the Uncanny Valley, and this is why a walking corpse will always be scarier than a mythical beast. The story begins in a deserted city street. Silence hangs heavy over the asphalt. The survivor walks alone, boots crunching on scattered glass. There is a noise ahead. A silhouette stands at the end of the block. From this distance, it looks like help. It looks like safety. The survivor waves a hand, calling out. The silhouette turns. At first, relief washes over the survivor. It is human, 2 arms, 2 legs, a head. But then the figure takes a step. The motion is jerky, unnatural. It is not the smooth stride of a living thing. It is a mechanical, broken twitch. The survivor stops. The biological alarm bells start ringing. This is where the brain gets confused. Evolution has trained humans for millions of years to recognize other humans. We are social animals. We need to know who is a friend, who is a potential mate, and who is sick. That last part is crucial. Disease is a killer. When a member of the tribe was sick, the others had to stay away to survive. So the brain developed a superpower. It can spot disease, death, and genetic bad news from a mile away. Pale skin, sunken eyes, erratic movement. These are signs of contagion. These are warnings. The figure under the street lamp steps closer. The details become clear. The skin is gray, like old putty. There is a deep gash on the shoulder, but there is no blood pumping. It is dry. The survivor freezes. The brain is frantically trying to categorize this thing. Is it human? It looks human, but it is not acting human. It is stuck in the gap. It falls right into the Uncanny Valley. If it were a robot that looked like a toaster, it would be fine. If it were a clear alien with green skin, it would be fine. But this is an imposter. It triggers a deep, primal disgust. It is the fear of the corpse, the fear that the thing standing there is what happens when the lights go out for good. Let us shift the perspective to a quiet farmhouse, the setting of the classic nightmares. Here, the horror is slow. It is quiet. A single creature shuffles across the grass. It is not running. It has no weapons. It is just walking. But the walk is the terror. It drags a foot. It leans to one side. It creates a dissonance in the mind of the watcher. The watcher looks through the window, gripping a piece of wood for protection. The creature outside looks like a neighbor. It wears the clothes of a postman or a teacher, but the humanity has been stripped away. In these slower moments, the Uncanny Valley hits the hardest because there is time to look. There is time to study the face. The muscles are slack. The expression is blank. Humans rely on micro-expressions to communicate. A smile, a frown, a twitch of the eyebrow. When those are gone, looking at a face feels like looking into a void. The creature bangs on the glass. The sound is dull. Thud, thud, thud. It does not scream in anger. It does not beg. It just exists. That lack of emotion is terrifying. A wolf growls because it is angry. A dragon roars to intimidate. This thing does not care. It is an empty shell driven by a broken motor. The survivor in the farmhouse backs away. The brain screams that this is wrong. It is the violation of the natural order. Dead things should stay down. When they get up, it breaks the rules of reality. The fear here is not just about being eaten. It's about becoming that thing. It is a mirror showing a twisted version of the future. The survivor sees the creature and sees a distorted reflection. That specific kind of horror lingers long after the sun comes up. Now, suddenly, the scene changes. The quiet farmhouse is gone. The silence is shattered. We are in a bustling metropolis, or what used to be one. Panic is everywhere. This is not the slow creep of the lone figure. This is the swarm. The sound is deafening. A screeching, clicking, howling noise echoes off the skyscrapers. It sounds like locusts. It sounds like a natural disaster made of meat and bone. The survivor here is running. There is no time to analyze the face of the enemy. The threat here is a tidal wave. In this scenario, the Uncanny Valley works differently. It is not about the individual glitch, it is about the loss of humanity on a mass scale. The crowd moves like water. They climb over each other, stepping on heads and shoulders to get over a wall. It looks like ants building a bridge, but they are people, or they were people. The visual impact of the swarm is overwhelming. Bodies are thrown around like rag dolls. There is no self-preservation. A living human protects their head when they fall. They flinch when they hit the ground. These things do not. They slam into concrete and keep moving. They break bones and keep running. Seeing a human body moving without pain, without hesitation, triggers that same sickness in the stomach. It is biologically wrong. The survivor watches from a rooftop as the tide of gray bodies flood the street below. It is a sea of blank faces. The audio in this chaos plays a huge role. It is not human speech. It is not even animal cries. It is the sound of dry throats snapping. It is the sound of teeth clashing together. The survivor covers their ears, but the sound vibrates in the chest. It is the sound of disease spreading. In the slow version, the silence was the enemy. Here, the noise is the weapon. It disorients, it creates panic. The survivor looks down and sees a single face in the crowd for a split second, mouth open too wide, eyes rolled back. Then it's gone, swallowed by the mass. Let's go back to the single survivor in the alleyway. The encounter is personal again. The creature is close now. The smell hits first. It is not the smell of a predator like musk or fur. It is the smell of decay, sweet and rotten. The survivor holds his breath. The creature lunges. It is not a martial arts move. It is a clumsy, heavy fall forward. The survivor dodges. The creature hits the wall. A living person would yell, "Ouch," or rub their arm. The creature just turns around. The loop restarts. This lack of pain response is another major factor in the fear. Humans empathize. When we see someone get hurt, we wince. We feel a phantom pain. But when the thing gets hurt and doesn't react, the empathy circuit in the brain misfires. It creates a disconnect. That looks like me, but it doesn't feel like me. That disconnect turns into fear. It turns into hatred. The survivor grabs a heavy object. Survival instinct takes over. But even in the act of fighting back, there is a hesitation. Striking a wolf is one thing. Striking something that looks like a neighbor requires overcoming a deep biological barrier. The concept of the Uncanny Valley was originally about robots, but the zombie is the organic version. It is the wetware glitch. The survivor stands over the fallen creature. The threat is neutralized, but the feeling of dread does not leave. The adrenaline fades, but the goosebumps stay. The survivor looks at the hands of the creature. They look just like the survivor's hands. Same nail bunts, same lines on the palm. That's the true horror. It is the proximity. A dragon is a fantasy. It belongs in a book. It belongs in a world of magic. A corpse belongs in a grave, but a walking corpse belongs nowhere. It violates the boundary between life and death. The survivor walks away, leaving the alley behind. The city is full of these things. Some are slow, shambling reminders of mortality. Some are fast, screeching reminders of viral destruction. But they all share that same quality. They are nearly human, but missing the spark. Think about the eyes. The survivor remembers the eyes most of all. In a living person, the eyes make micro-movements. They scan, they focus. The pupil dilates with emotion. The creature's eyes were fixed, a glassy stare that looks through everything. It is the 1,000-yard stare of a soldier, but permanent. It signals that the lights are on, but the house is empty.
The survivor shivers, pulling a jacket tighter. The cold is not from the weather. The environment itself seems to react to these things. Birds stop singing, dogs bark aggressively, their hackles raised. Animals know. They sense the wrongness before humans do. The survivor notices the lack of rats in the alleyway. Even the scavengers are staying away. The presence of the uncanny drives away the natural world. It is a pollution of the natural order. The journey continues through a shopping mall. It was once a place of commerce and noise. Now it is a tomb. The echoes of footsteps bounce off the tiled floors. Reflections in the shop windows show the survivor moving, but sometimes the reflection seems to lag, or maybe it's just the nerves. Suddenly, a group appears near the food court. They are standing still, perfectly still. Living humans are never perfectly still. We shift weight.